We are back again with another episode of Unspoken Experiences with another amazing soul who will share his experiences with us today. His name is Akshay, and he'll be joining us very soon to share his experiences about his childhood, his teenage life, his adult life, and much more to learn from him. Let's welcome him and let us start our live for today. And I'm so sorry to start it late because of power cut issues, but now we will start soon. And I hope you guys have a lot to learn from it, him and his experiences. He'll join us soon in a minute, and then we can start. And till the time he joins, if you guys have any questions regarding curious insights or mental health or unspoken experiences, please feel free to post that question in the comment box below. And of course, if you guys have your own experience which you would like to share with everyone so that everyone can learn from it, so please do so. We will be really glad to have you on our platform, because till the time you guys are there, the unspoken experiences will be there, because without any experience there's nothing that we can share. So please come up with more such and such experiences. I believe every one of us have a different experience of our lifetime within us, and if we can share it with other people, nothing better than that. I think they can at least feel that that I'm not alone in this. I somebody is there with me who will still who's still going through all of this, or who has passed the situation, and I too can pass through this. So with this, let us welcome Akshay. Akshay, please join. Hi Akshay, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm so sorry for making it late from 6 to 6:30 due to power cut.
That's
I'm
fine.
really very sorry for that.
That's fine.
So without any delay, we'll start. So I would just like you to
Yeah.
introduce yourself first in any way you want. Like it's your space. Just consider it as a normal conversation that we are gonna have, and might be people can learn through it, or maybe they feel safe that okay, even I have someone who is going through the same situation and I can deal with it too.
All that in an introduction?
Mm. And anything, anyhow, however you want to introduce yourself.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so okay. First of all, I feel really odd because this is the first time I'm going live ever.
Mm.
So anyway, I'm Akshay here, and how do I summarize myself? I actually don't know.
It's okay. Any adjective that you would want to put for yourself, and that's your introduction, probably. That, this is me. If it in one word you will say, this is me, this is the best quality of mine. This is you.
Oh, I'm persistent. I'm very persistent. Of
Persistent.
whatever. Yeah,
So we have
whatever I think
persistent
to do.
Akshay with us today. Like, who's gonna share his experience. I'm very glad, and I thank you for coming over here and sharing your experience, because this really means a lot. Um, it gives power to people, it gives courage to people to come up and speak, at least not in front of people, but to themselves that, okay, I am going through this, and let me work on it. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming over here and doing it for us.
Anything, if actually my story or any part of me helps someone else, why not?
That's really great. So, what kind of a experience would you like to share? As we discussed about it, that you would like to share an experience of yours, which is the whole lifetime experience, the certain events that you went through, that you dealt with, and you felt that you are growing with all those experience step by step, right? So, the stage is all yours.
Okay, I'll give a gist of what my life has been so far.
Yeah.
Um, so me and my mom, we shifted over here, Navi Mumbai,
Mm.
because uh, father was a alcoholic and abused, and later on I found out that he was into voodoo stuff also. So that was fascinating.
Mm.
Um, just by the way, I use humor a lot. It's my
Mm.
one of my favorite defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
So anyway, so later on in stage, I came to know that I'm one of the dyslexic kids. So I was, you know, I was not treated special. I was more treated as irresponsible and someone who's not capable enough to do anything
Yeah.
on his own or in any possible manner. So uh, I faced a lot of issues in school because of this. I used to get insulted every day in front of every other classroom teachers because my school had decided to kick me out because of being an LD student, and uh,
Mm.
apparently I was the first kid over there who started the LD section. So they were even more furious about it. So they wanted to kick me out, and my mother fought for it. But in doing so, they did not like the process. So I had to be insulted every day. That
Mm.
was a process. And later on, as time went by, I have considered myself as a black sheep of the family because that's how I've been seen. So, instead of trying to prove me otherwise, I decided to just go with it. And as I keep on doing things, I grow. People get to see it. I don't go personally and prove it to anybody, not even in my family.
Yeah.
So I decided to change that part of me. Uh,
That's great.
and uh, what else did you, what else did you want me to share?
Anything.
There's
So,
plenty.
yeah, so I think there are a lot of roller coasters that a lot of speed breakers that you went through to come till here where you are right now. So, how did you went through each step? Like, what were your thoughts? What were you feeling at each and every step when you shifted to Navi Mumbai, to when you faced a lot of issues in your schools, to even create a section for yourself is a big deal. So how did you go through all of this?
It was tough. It's not easy. It's when it comes to such situations when you find yourself more alone in such situations, and it's your family who points at you and is not that supportive, and they are like, they keep nagging at you, or they keep telling you that you're irresponsible, you're not a good kid, you don't do or you behave or do this or do that. So basically, nobody had an idea about what I'm going through. I never said
Mm.
it because pretty busy facing whatever they had perception about me. So
Mm.
during this time, I realized that I, uh, you know, first I used to prove them. I used to prove that, I am capable of stuff. I am responsible. I can change this. I can show you the kid I can be, the one you wanted to see in me, not the one I always was.
Yeah.
So I started with that, but eventually I realized that I just kept asking myself what kind of a person I want to be. So it just cannot just be a good person or a nice human being. I mean, what else can I do? What better can I do? And for myself, not just because I want to please my family. So
Yeah.
from there on, I decided that I'll improve myself. I'll keep on thriving to whatsoever problem comes to me. And in fact, I encouraged more issues in my life. The more
Mhm.
issues came, I got more excited about it. I was like,
Oh my God.
okay.
That's gonna be a new tagline
There-
nowadays then, that more issues to resolve to be a better person. I mean, that's really amazing.
yeah, yeah. I saw it as the challenge to see if I can do better, be better, if I can, go through with this or not, and how much time does it take. In that, I wanted
Right.
to know how much more I understand my emotions towards myself, towards others, and
Yeah.
I wanted to change a certain personality about mine. I used to be a very aggressive kid, a very short-tempered kid, and I wanted to change that entire personality. Today, anger doesn't come next to me at all. I think more rationally comparatively, and I really think, what's the best possible solution for this, or like think it through instead of anger, because when you don't understand a certain situation, anger is the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing I wanted to change. So from there on, the step started. That
That's really fabulous, Akshay, that you were able to think it through, you were able to work on your emotions, and you thought about it that I have to work on my emotions. That's real big deal. Nowadays we just feel like, okay, let's put these emotions aside, these are of no use, let's move forward. But in reality, it is really important to work on the emotions, to acknowledge those emotions, and to make ourselves feel that, yeah, we are there. And you kind of did that. So that's really fabulous. So, Akshay, I just wanted to know, like, what did you go through? What were your thoughts, and what were your, really the emotions that you felt? Maybe sad, maybe angered, like how you said. So, what other emotions that you felt when you were going through all of this? When you were, in a school, and you kind of thought that I want to change myself. So, just before that.
before that, it's called. Some people do that in the washroom, sit over there and you cry a lot. My place was my room itself.
Mhm.
You sit over here, you cry because you're so overwhelmed by everything and all those thoughts and emotions that you feel you have reached that helpless point where no matter what you do, how much you do, it's either it's not enough or it's like, you question yourself if you're doing something right or wrong, or, there must be a way to, make them believe or show others that you're capable, um, and you can go through things, you're strong enough to, how do you
Right.
show that you're strong enough to, so there were many nights like that. You just
Mhm.
sit, either you sit very quietly or you just end up weeping the entire night. But once you're done crying, I prefer crying over such situations because after that I get some sort of clarity. And
More power to you.
I don't know I really don't know how many people to agree to that because I have asked a few and they do agree that sometimes after crying it does help a lot. You end up seeing certain things clearly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I had a lot of tough days. So yeah, it's even more hurting because when your own mother comes and tells you things and in manners you never thought you would hear, or the worst is she comparing you to your father, which you never wanted to be. So after that point, all that you have to keep inside. It's not like you can go and shout at anybody about all these things. You went out or you shout at them or you be like, I'm not that kind of person, then they will retaliate on that and they'll tell you कि तुम उल्टा बोलने लग गए
वैसे
हो
ही
ऐसा.
बिहेव कर रहे हो,
So
राइट.
so instead of me deciding to go through that, I chose to use all this as a means of making myself better, to see that what is that I can do better, at least for myself. It was not easy at all. It has taken
Definitely.
me years,
Of
literally
course.
years, and time and again a lot of failure. And sometimes it's not easy to give a nice good hug to your failures and your emotions and pains. Okay, yeah, yeah, why not? Come on, let's have a ride.
Right.
पर नहीं होता.
नहीं होता. So, like as you said, जब सब कुछ you were keeping it all inside. You cannot put it out on other people just like that. So when you were keeping it inside, what was the fight that goes on within us? Like how can I keep inside? What were the thoughts that were going on within your mind? Like how what should I do now? Thoughts like that.
Oh, it's a constant struggle,
Mm.
especially with a mind that does not shut up. There is a constant struggle. You keep on saying, you talking, and I mean, you know how you want a quiet moment for yourself. Uh,
Right.
Even though everything is quiet around you, your head does not shut up. It just wants to keep on nagging, saying, and it will bring out stuff people said
Mm.
to you, or they spoke to you about, or they tagged you with certain things, and it keeps on bringing up, and that is not easy. The worst fight is with yourself. It's
Right.
uh, yeah, either uh, you fight it through, or you succumb to it, but you have to go through that some or the other point, because unless until you cannot go through what's going on in your own head, ये बाहर का जो भी चल रहा है ना, complete waste.
Right. So what were you going through exactly? What were the, the things that were going on in your mind? Like, am I not good enough? Am should I even try for this? Should I be like this? What were the struggle that you were going through?
uh, uh, Personality changed.
Mm.
That was my struggle. There came a point I realized I don't think I have a personality, or I don't think I have a persona, or anything I can call mine,
Mm.
because I struggled so much to change myself into someone that can be accepted by my family and by others, that I really did not know who I really am. So and instead of actually going through that kind of a problem, I kept avoiding it by changing even more of my personalities. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it's very frustrating. It's uh, you look yourself into the mirror, and you talk to yourself, and you say that, yeah, these are the problems you're facing. But when you question yourself that who am I really into all this, you don't really get an answer over there.
Yeah. And that
So
frustrates you
that
even
is really
more.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is not something, and I see these. Okay, so over the period of time, I've understood that these are the things, at least in family, there should be some comfort level where one can talk about all this. But ऐसे कभी हम लोग को बड़ा किया नहीं था, especially boys,
Yeah.
के talk about your emotions, come.
Yeah.
So, you end up pushing it more inside, or, putting it on a sideline, under the rug, everything under the rug.
Under the
So,
rug, like
yeah,
it should be under covered.
ah, and that's what, then comes your frustration, then comes your anger. In all that, I told myself, okay, don't get angry. There is no point in getting angry. Although there is a lot of frustration in me, and,
Mm.
sometimes it's good to just let it out all, even if it
Yeah.
is all frustration, anger, or irritation. But I
Mm.
kept suppressing it. I kept telling myself, hey, these are negative feelings. Don't
Yeah.
encourage them. Don't encourage them. Put it in a positive way. Put it in a positive way. But it does not always work. You always have a saturating point where, you cross it, and अब तब नहीं होता.
So basically, until unless you
So
acknowledge your emotions, it is just right there. Even if we feel कि वो नहीं है, but वो है, वहाँ पे ही है. But we just feel that, हमने उनको
exactly.
साइड कर दिया, साइडलाइन कर दिया है. Right.
So yeah, those were the times, and eventually one of the things really helped me understanding my time, my situation, myself much better. That was uh, sorry, yeah,
Okay.
that was presence of mind.
Okay.
Uh, when I Whenever I used to, after a point of time, when I used to get stuck in a certain situation, and your mind starts to think too much, or it starts to worry too much, you just give your presence of mind over there, that what am I doing right now? What's going on around me? And now start to think it through. Take a breath. So this is something I started doing later on. Then I got a better grip over my situations.
Yeah. So
So
holding
for
on to it.
awareness,
Yeah.
yeah,
So the
those
awareness. Yeah.
mm, that's how I
Okay.
dealt with certain things.
Yeah. I mean, That's really something which I think we all need to do. I think it's okay to cry. It's okay to look at things that in a way that we can improve ourselves and not sideline the things that are really important for us. Like our own emotions, we usually sideline those emotions because we feel like it's okay, it is of no use, nobody is going to understand me, or even I'm not understanding myself, so what's the point of keeping those in line? So we just
Mm,
sideline.
mm,
So that's one thing I think you did it amazingly, that you let it come again, you worked on it, and you said to yourself that let me try once again, and this time let me hold it for a while, and then just understand it. So that's really great, yeah. So what further, like taking this one step, what was the next step that you took for yourself to move to a position where you are right now, where you are satisfied,
uh,
where you're feeling, I'm good with my life, like, oh, it's okay.
no. I never came into that uh, thought process of whether if I'm satisfied or not,
Okay.
because um, one of the things I understood over the period of time was, there is always a next thing coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
One thing ends, you might think कि हाँ चल अभी ये हो गया, but you might not even know the next thing is right over there.
Right.
And yeah, so uh, I actually chose to keep my mind active on all those things instead of uh, I don't know. I never actually went for the satisfaction part of it. I
Mm-hmm.
always chose to finish the task. I always decided कि just do it to the fullest, and uh, even if it is just for myself, if it is just my own task and everything, then unless and until it's not perfect, I really don't stop, and my in my own perfect way, I'm very frustrating that way. But I'm working with others or for others, then I make sure it is satisfactory level उनके तक का हो.
Right.
I don't look out for my own satisfaction. Somehow it does not help me. Uh,
Okay. I mean,
this is something I
everybody has
discovered
their
over.
own way to work through it. So yeah. Yeah, it's okay. So, what further the steps that you took? What were the different steps that you took? Post this, that okay, let me hold on to my anger first, and then what else did you do?
Mm, how do I put it?
Hello.
Uh, then I don't know. The next steps were. I really don't know how to put that.
Mm-hmm.
These things just come by situation. I say
Yeah.
it. Uh, Honestly, I don't think until I had uh, uh, bachelor's degree tak itna I never gave it that much of a thought. I I just started understanding my experience until then
Mm-hmm.
better, what my experience gave me or taught me, but I took out the good out of it and kept the good, but I chose to uh, I, I chose to live with the bad because it led me to understand, uh, you know, what good could have come out of it. And
Right.
if next time such a situation happens, then what else? What else can I do, or what else can be done?
So you reflected
You can
back
say
on the
that.
situation.
Yeah, uh, I think I started analyzing everything after that.
Yeah.
Instead of coming up to conclusions or jumping right into things, I started analyzing. I sat back, I started observing, and uh, you know I and any actually, so at times I so much so that if certain reaction or an emotion I threw in, I used to later on I used to start analyzing that what made me go through that kind of an emotion, or why did I give that kind of a reaction? Was it required, necessary, or what was that hit me so hard that a certain part of me came out? So
Right.
I started analyzing my emotions as well. So I think that's how I started, dealing with things.
Mhm.
So I just did not do it with situations, but also with problems. So
Right. So holding on to it and then to reflect back onto what really went wrong, or what did really happen, so I can learn from it, and
mm,
maybe next time I can bring a better out of it. Right. So yeah, so moving further, I think while we were discussing, as you said that you were in a counseling skills course, like a diploma in counseling skills course. So you did that course. What were your experience, and how was it different from you know just when you entered and when you finished the course?
my experience. Okay, I actually joined. Actually, I went for counseling because I realized that I got the answer for the question. People kept asking me that what do something that makes you happy, and I
Mm,
had no clue of what made me happy. And by the end of my final year in college, in bachelor's, I realized that helping others in their issues and giving their a perception which they ought to miss is something that made me happy doing so. So
mm,
that's when somebody actually guided me by telling me, okay, you can be a counselor or something in that
mm,
kind of a profession. So that is when I searched about it, and that's how I, uh, decided to go for counseling again, which wasn't easy because my mother was like, you can't do counseling, तुमसे नहीं
mm,
होगा. So
mm,
जबरदस्ती I had to do graphic designing for 6 months. Yet after that, I did not get to go for counseling easily. I had another 1 or 2 months for content writing.
mm,
So there was a lot of shift in my career just to get
mm,
where I want to go.
right. And
Anyway,
when
but
you,
once
yeah, yeah.
when I actually got into counseling, I was thrilled. I was very much thrilled because there was so much I got to learn about how counseling works, how guidance works, and how psychology comes into picture, and the ways one can bring difference into other people's lives. And I was just really,
Mm,
I don't know what is the right word for it to describe, but
mm,
yeah, from that point on, I decided, okay, now I'm not stopping. This is something I'm going to go ahead with my entire life.
mm,
So after that, I got even more motivated to head into
mm.
counseling.
I think you got a clarity, and you got a stability in your life after you decided that this course is gonna take me towards where I want to go. So yeah, that's good. And you also shared the amazing experience that you went through. I mean, not really that way, but what new things that you found out while you were doing counseling about yourself.
No, you about myself.
Yeah, the few revelations about your childhood that you were able to find out while you were going through counseling.
Right. So, okay. Mind and emotions is such a funny thing because it something that bothers you, it decides to suppress it. So in counseling, I realized that in one of the sessions or lectures that also I had also gone through child sexual abuse. So
Mm,
at that time, uh, it did not really affect me because I think my mind had completely blocked that thought and that memory of that situation, entire thing, and even though when I realized it was just an experience that came to my mind until I went for counseling. And the reason I had gone for counseling was to understand my emotions better so that I can be a better counselor. And in there, when uh, when I brought up the child sexual abuse part, uh, my counselor asked me to go through the entire process of whatever happened at that point, and that's when I realized that my mind, my body, and everything had gone numb, and I had like gone like cold over there, and I did not move or did not react to anything, and that is when my mind told me, okay, just go through it. Whatever happens, let it happen. Now, once it's gone, we forget about everything. And literally, I forgot about everything. It got blocked. So, but the experience, the thought and everything all came back. That's when I realized, hey, these are still the emotions, I had gone through, which my mind did not want me to, remember it. But there was one more thing I realized that although I got to experience everything in that session of what happened at that time. There was another thing, a realization that I did not give it that level of importance for it to impact me or impact my life. That uh, even I used to wonder that the kind of abuse I had gone through because of my father, and that should have been some sort of traumatic experience, but I did not give it that kind of importance. I did not let it have that kind of weightage over me for it to bother me over the period of time. Whenever the thoughts came to me, and the thought came a lot of times, too often, but I did not let it have that power over me. भाई affect कर मेरे को, अच्छी खासी जिंदगी चल रही है, खराब कर ले आगे. I was like, no need for that. So, but that is something I actually found out because of counseling. So, that was pretty helpful. It
So
it
when you found
made me
out,
understand.
right? So when you found out, what were your reactions, or your like? Were you distressed, or were you like okay, like maybe I went through it, or what were your you know uh, your feeling inside that was going on? Like how was it for
I
you?
was I was pretty surprised uh, um, because the experience which I got at that point, the way my counselor took me through the entire process, and I relived that memory. That was the point I realized that there were so many emotions and so much going on within me. And at that point, my head felt so heavy. It felt so heavy, and I realized it was that entire experience, and I had started out everything. Entire situation and entire experience was out of my mind. But in that moment, I was surprised and I was pretty shocked that I had gone through all those experiences, those emotions, those feelings, and each and everything. It all came back to me. I actually got a shiver at that point when I was going through the entire uh, emotional journey altogether. But um, I was like, hey, hold on. We are just reliving it to experience it, to understand it better. Don't let it come back to your head. That is not why we are doing it. So I was like, okay, that's why I had to make myself calm. The head started to feel very heavy.
Right. So you were able
So
to work through your conflicts.
yeah, but it opened a door. After that time, it took a few nights for me to get back to my normalcy of things, because I started having nightmares about it. So I decided not to overthink on it, because then you have a habit of shutting a door, and once it's open, things do start to come out. So
Right.
yeah.
But you handled it like quite well, that You were every step you were able to tell yourself, no, this is what I should be going forward towards. And it must have been very difficult for you, right? Like while we say, मैंने ऐसा बोला अपने आप को and I was able to do it. It's very easy to be going out about like I did that, but it's very difficult when you actually do it. uh,
I know it is very difficult. That's why I
yeah.
told you that humor, my
Hmm.
defense mechanism. I turn everything into something funny, so it makes
Right.
it easier for me to, walk
Right.
through it.
Right. And everyone
Although
has
I,
their
I,
own. Yeah.
yeah,
That's okay. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. That's
yeah,
how.
yeah. Everyone has their own defense mechanism to work through it. Some people just put it aside. Some people use humor. But eventually, what I think is that we all have to face it at the point that
Mm.
where we are. We all have to face it somehow. That what we are going through, and you did your part, and you moved on, and now you are okay with it. Now you are pretty fine with whatever happened, and I have to move on in my life. That's really good. So, if you have to summarize your experience till now of your lifetime, how would you do that? How would you put it around for, people who will be watching you, or who will be, watching your experience?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Your voice was
Yeah,
breaking.
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying that if you have to summarize your life experience for others, like what did what can you take out from it, or what did you went through and how did it help you? Anything. If you have to summarize your life experience, how would you do that?
My life experience. Never thought my life experience would be that worth it, but okay, sure. Uh, okay, it was it. It, okay, there was this was one of the things I had told myself that either I can, you know, see my life as one pity situation to another, or I can actually pick myself up, build myself into something and to someone that tomorrow I can look back and be like, hey, yeah, एक time पे मैं ऐसा बंदा था
Hmm.
and अब मेरे को ऐसा बंदा. So
True, that's
it really depends how you want to see yourself more than how you try to show yourself to others. Okay, you know, uh, even though I have went through I don't know, a lot of things. I have gone through a lot of things, but what have usually hurt me the most are the people around me, the people closest to me. When you don't have their support, so
hmm.
you end up realizing you're on your own. Even if you are on your own, don't outcast anybody because without them you wouldn't have got an experience which
Right.
made you who you are today.
True that.
This is how what I took out from my own life, and
I mean,
I hope
I'm
it helps.
I'm really learning from your life experiences, so that's really great. I mean, the way you handled everything, the way your thought process, you put it at place. Like it's okay what I went through, but now I don't want to let it affect me, or I want to move forward, or these are just the experiences, and these are making who I am right now. That's really good. And the way you fought for yourself that I want to do this. I want to, I want to do counseling, or I want to do graphics. Whatever I want to do, I can do it. And you fought for it. That's really, I mean, commendable. So thank you. And like as you know that we always ask this question like, what about the professional help? So what do you think like what people should do about professional help? Like, is it okay to go for a professional help? Are you there? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm
is
there.
it? Yeah. So what do you think about the professional help?
My personal opinion and experience as professional help is pretty damn helpful. Um, I know a lot of people. My mother, in fact, she recently started doing for counseling. It
Mm-hmm.
has been helping her, greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Although before that, the typical line that comes, there is nothing wrong with me. Thank you, sir. Why
Right.
should I go for it? Like, but go for it. uh, you know, uh, your story, your everything will be there with the person you're sharing, and it will, just get in touch with yourself in ways you never thought you could have.
Yeah.
And your emotions, your capabilities, the things you have handled, things you missed out on seeing के यार क्या 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 मस्त तरीके से handle किया था मैंने all these things which you end up missing out.
Yeah.
And all that, there's a lot of things that help when you go for counseling or even for a professional help in any manner. It really helps, but it's all on your choice.
Yeah.
One of the things which I really learned from counseling is that as long as you wish you want to go for it, only
It
then
will
it
work.
helps you.
Yeah.
I think it does not.
True. So,
Uh,
mm, yeah, we need to decide, like, in order to go, am I really going to work on myself, or I just want to go and just, speak it out, so to vent it, like, you know, listen to my this shit and let me dump it on you, and I don't want to do anything. So, yeah, of course. But, and, the counselor really helps you to see the positive sides as well. They don't really talk about
mm,
only, what were the challenges that you went through, but they also talk about, how you were able to overcome few of those, and helps you apply those in the other parts
true,
of your
true.
life. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you are able to do it by yourself, nothing better than that. But if you are not, then please do consult somebody, at least try talking it out. And if you feel better, then please go ahead with it. That's what, like, I would have to say with this to all the viewers who will be watching this later as well. So yeah, thank you, Akshay, for being here and sharing your journey. I mean, it really takes a lot from a person to say that I went through this, I went crying, I dealt with all of this situation. It was too heavy for me, and usually because it is it is a social norm that we cannot speak about the difficulties that we went through. It's always the good that we share with each other. So really thank you
I,
and appreciate a lot for sharing it.
I'm very much glad.
So with this, we'll end today's live, and yeah, we'll come up back again, people, for another live, another such experience in another such episode next Sunday. Stay tuned, 6 p.m. Curious Insights, Unspoken Experiences. Bye bye. Thank you.